These patches are so amazing. So my son, Stephen, he was severe and profound autism. So not, the real high functioning. However, he was born normal and did not present with symptoms until 2.5. We delayed some of his vaccines. We do believe he was vaccine injured. However, he, just not overnight, but over the course of a few months, lost all his ability to speak, communicate in any meaningful way, meaning eye contact, gestures. I'm telling you, he was severe and profound. It was quite devastating. And back then, autism was not as prevalent and heard of like it is now. So he got his formal diagnosis at age 6. And we started to pursue more natural routes with him. So when I heard about this stem cell technology, I was really excited because already we had been doing hyperbaric treatments. Over a 6-year period of time, we've done 300 hard chamber dives that at a cost of $300 per dive, plus relocating at 6 weeks at a time. We would stay near a center in Charlotte, North Carolina, and going through, just to get the stem cells. When I heard a patch could do this for, less than a cup of coffee a day, I just was thrilled. And we, began using the X39. And the first improvement we saw, which was the most needed improvement, was his sleep. He started sleeping through the night. This from a child who would wake 12 to 18 times a night. And if he's awake, who else is awake? And it just was really taking a huge toll on my body as well. So that's why, I started the patches with him. And my sleep improved within a couple days. I was like, wow, can this even be possible? Because being sleep deprived for, it was a good 4 to 6 years at least, really like huge sleep deprivation. You kind of, it was hard to, just say, well, I'm going to go to sleep now and think, well, it's going to be a normal sleep. And I'm 60 years old. I'll be 61 and I am too old for this. And so I'm so thankful. So the sleep was the very first thing that happened for him. But then we started, he was having a normal phone conversation with our daughter who lives out of state. And she's like, Mom, he said, hello. He asked me, how are you doing? And we're like, oh, by this time he's been verbal. So he is verbal now. But, his sentences aren't complete. Well, now we're seeing really complete sentences, relevant contributions to the conversation. It's mind-blowing. And then we had a stranger come into our home. Usually he'll hide. He's not very social. And that still is our main issue, wanting him to be more social. But the stranger came into our home and he was engaging with her. And we're like, we're just looking at each other. She has no clue. And, we were just ecstatic that he's engaging with this stranger. And then we went to a neighbor's house. And so here's, if you want to show the pictures of some coloring that he did. So I have a before picture that shows what he would do. Charlie Brown, that was his coloring. And you know what? We were okay with that. But on the right, the dog. So I'm visiting with my neighbor in her home, and we just placed these, markers and crayons and, things in front of him. And he went and colored this dog. We were blown away. we have never seen him color like that. And I know it might seem trivial, but we were just blown away that this is happening. And that was, so we started in October. That coloring happened in December. All of these things happened by December. So now fast forward to today, and we have a horse. It's very therapeutic for him. And we go out there 2 times a day. He now has an unofficial job that he's learning to do many tasks. And, you know, at first it was like, okay, having to show step by step, this is how we do it. Well, let me tell you now, he goes in there, he knows what to do. We're talking cleaning stalls, moving horses, cleaning buckets, giving them hay, grooming. Yeah, he can just, he is just really an amazing miracle. We are so, it's all glory to God. And, so thankful that Jody, our friendship, just culminated because Jody and I saw each other like once a month, most of the time throughout those years. And so she's been able to see, our journey, where we were at, and, and now where we are.
Just amazing. A couple people asked which patches. I think you started with X39 and Eon.
Yes. And then I added carnosine for a while. And actually now, I've just cut back to the X39. But we did all 3, the X39, Eon, carnosine, I would say for about 6 months. So, just recently I felt like, and to be honest with you, in the summertime, he's like sweating, we're outside, not liking the feel of them on his body, but he does ask for his X39 every morning. He knows where they are. He brings it over. I peel it, put it on the back, on the spine bump. and
you did start him with 12 hours on, 12 hours off, correct?
Yes.
Yes, because he's 23. Yeah.
Yes.